Are we too low on Melvin Gordon? Is he priced just right in as for his ADP? What's going on here?
Right here.
If you are hearing my voice and you're seeing my beautiful mug, do us a huge favor and hit that like button and share this on whatever platform you are on. It really helps with the algorithms and helps us grow our channel. If you know anything about social media, or if you don't know what algorithms are, basically they're what run our lives, and we're at the mercy of them and the almighty Zuckerberg. So please help us pull the plug, gain independence, and follow our dream. If you are new to the Fantasy Whispers, welcome. Please consider hitting us up with a follow. We release fantasy football content daily. We've got a question of the day. So, Johnny, go ahead and talk to us a little bit about Melvin Gordon.
Listen, around the show here, we like to warm up the old vocal cords, before we dive into the meat and potatoes of a show. So I, was searching Twitter today, and there was some big news. There was a couple of things that happened to big news because there are players being released left and right. But I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about Melvin Gordon. All right. I want to talk about Melvin Gordon because Melvin Gordon, his charges of DUI were dismissed this morning. He pleaded guilty to reckless driving for excessive speeding. Big win in this matter for Melvin Gordon. That was reported by Mike Kliss on Twitter this morning. And so my question, and the question of the day to Whisper Nation, is, are we too low on Melvin Gordon heading into 2021? I just want to let you guys remind you guys, he finished with 215 rushing attempts for 986 yards and 9 touchdowns. He added 32 receptions on 44 targets for 158 yards and a receiving touchdown. He finished as the RB14 in standard and PPR, but his current ADP is slotted as the RB21 off the board. Now, I will say that the big contingency to this whole equation could be that of Phillip Lindsay, but the Broncos GM George Patton said the team plans to give Lindsay a restricted free agent tender. A Mike Kliss of the 9 News Denver reports. So, Travis, are we too low on Melvin Gordon? Is he priced just right in as for his ADP? What's going on here?
Yeah, I think he is priced just about where he should probably go, around RB21 off the board, somewhere in between RB15, RB25, somewhere in there. I like where he's going off as 21 right now. We'll see. That'll probably change based on what we see out of free agency, what we see out of the rookies coming in and their landing spots. The thing about Melvin Gordon is he's kind of like the unsexy pick, but the money is tied to him. That new contract they gave him last year in Denver, I believe, made him at the time the 9th highest running back paid in the league. So you love to see that number. You love to see the numbers tied to him. And so I'll be interested to see what Whisper Nation thinks, but I think he is appropriately priced and maybe even a bit of a discount. And that is something you want to take advantage of when you're sitting there and you're going through some of the guys that are around his area. And we'll talk a little bit about them, Johnny. He is going to be a guy that's consistent, at least somewhat healthy most of the time, and getting big starting running back money, which means you can kind of trust the volume there in Denver. What you'd like to see is the offense improve around him. If Drew Lock could take a step forward, if they could keep the wide receivers healthy, if they can improve the offensive line, all those things add up to him maybe getting top 12 production, because he was just on the outside with kind of a crappy offensive situation. So for me, I like the prospects of Melvin Gordon. I've been taking him a lot in our mock drafts, which you can find if you follow the Fantasy Whispers by hitting subscribe here on whatever platform you are on. But Whisper Nation, let us know in the comments what you think. Johnny, I think he's being priced just about right.
Okay, that's fair enough. I do agree with some of that. I mean, the numbers per game and all of that are, skew in favor of like a very solid RB2, 13.2 fantasy points per game, 62.9% opportunity share, 0.77 fantasy points per opportunity, and he was getting 4.6 yards per carry. So he still has it. But when you look at where he's being drafted, Travis, that's why I think he's being drafted just right. Because, look, he's going after guys like Cam Akers, DeAndre Swift, James Robinson, Josh Jacobs, Antonio Gibson, J.K. Dobbins, Miles Sanders, David Montgomery, and CEH. And, frankly, I can't make a solid argument as to why you would take Melvin Gordon over any of those guys. I feel like those guys have more upside than Melvin Gordon does. But, once again, Whisper Nation, we want to know what you think about Melvin Gordon this year and where his ADP will be come September. Will it be higher than where it is now? Will it fall? Let us know in the comments below.
Speaking of comments and speaking of Whisper Nation, Kyle in from Instagram here is on YouTube. Johnny, he says, yo, it's Kyle Gilden, I think, or Golden, hopefully, from Instagram. Thanks for all the help the other day. Much love, boys. He had a couple dynasty questions. Isn't that right, Johnny?
Yeah, he had some really good dynasty questions, and he was just asking for advice and things like that. So, which we love giving. That's one of the things that we enjoy is communicating with our community, Whisper Nation. So, if you have any questions, hit us up in our DMs. We love them.
Slide on in. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. If you like what you saw, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you want to watch more fantasy football content, check out one of these videos.